Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home. And mid-January, we're looking at our closets and around our house, and we realized, you know what? We have some clothing that we could kind of move along, and also we could also bring some new in. Those are the rules. So we're here with Liz Summers from My Girlfriend's Closet, downtown Burlington, and we're in a consignment store, believe it or not. Like, I swear this must be the nicest consignment store I've ever been in. This is gorgeous. Like, we were talking, Liz, some people say that they think they're walking into just a regular clothing boutique.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
That's
gorgeous.
Right.
So
Thank you.
How did this all come to be for you?
I started about 2.5 years ago and just figured downtown Burlington needed a shop like this.
Yes.
And we just do upscale clothing, and we're very particular what we take in.
But that's good, though. So you have a direction. People know what they're going to get when they're walking in here. So they know that it's going to be, and especially if they're also bringing clothing in. So we'll get to that in a little bit as well. But really, when you're walking in, you know you're going to get some nice quality clothing. And a lot of times, people buy clothes they never even wear. We've all had that where we've literally left the tag on. And as sad as it is, we look at it and we're like, you know what? It's not for me. But it might be for someone else. So this is what we can find in your store, right? So let's talk about some of the items that you can find in your store. And in general, what would we find?
Well, we take anything that's less than 2 years. It has to be a quality name brand or a designer label, and it has to be in perfect shape.
Okay, good. And that's the thing. So when someone's bringing clothing into you, you're checking it with a fine-tooth comb.
We inspect it. It's got to be dry cleaned, freshly laundered, pressed. It's got to be in perfect condition.
And anything from handbags?
We take handbags, we take shoes that have to be in really good shape. Some costume jewelry, but mostly clothing.
Okay.
And anything from Banana Republic to Lululemon, all the way to Gucci or Prada.
It's good. So it gives people kind of an idea of what to expect. And I think it's a great idea because it is such a little boutique and it's such a great little area down here. And it's amazing how you can come into a consignment shop and say, for example, give an example of an item and a price that it would be normally and what you can maybe find it for in here.
Here you'd find it about a third of retail.
Wow, that's good, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
And as you say, you have you know, a sort of an outline of how the quality of the clothing that's supposed to be, and again the condition of the clothing. People know they're going to get something great, and again it's actually really good for the environment too.
Absolutely,
right?
It's all about recycling your closet.
Exactly, and I love that idea. So we have some models here as well that we want to talk about a little bit. Before we get into the logistics, how consignment works, we should show some of the models and some of the outfits and what you can actually find here. Okay, so our first model.
Our first model is Sylvia. She's looking gorgeous in this classy yet fun look. She's wearing a Mongolian lamb fur vest, which is a huge fashion trend this season.
Which isn't extensions of her hair, but actually
it's
a vest. We love it, so cute.
We have it paired with a champagne-colored Joseph silk wrap blouse, a wool sequined pencil skirt from Banana Republic, and suede boots from Brown's. She's carrying this fantastic Haymarket check tote from Burberry, and also the pearls and the jewelry she's wearing are available at our shop.
See, you know what? I love that. It's amazing. And you look, and now those boots look brand new to me. Like, go figure.
Some of them have never been worn.
And that's another thing. So people buy, again, shoes are a big one. You buy them and you get them home, you wear them around in your house. And this, you know, we're all shaped differently.
Absolutely.
Our feet, and sometimes they're just not comfortable. They just don't work, right? So, okay, so that's good. I like that outfit. And again, the sparkly, the sequin skirts, all that's so in right now. So it's not like, as you say, within 2 years, you're still all on trend.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's look at our next model.
Okay, so here we have Marilyn. Marilyn looks fabulous. She always does. She is wearing a wool felt hat from Scala and a Via wool trench coat. Underneath, she's wearing this chic and cozy knit turtleneck dress.
Oh, that's cute.
With metallic front panel, and that's by Olson. The belt is Ron Leo, and the patent boots are d'Italia. The bracelet is by Coach, and the large rose petal tote pulls the whole outfit together.
Wow. And again, I mean, people be astonished when you look and you say, wow, this is really consignment. I feel like I'm just doing, you know, as you say, just a brand new fashion show. And again, the color's great. And it's all about, you know, the bright colors right now anyway.
Absolutely.
So this works nicely.
Absolutely.
Very good. Okay. Thank you. And our next model, so again, showing different styles. So we've had dressy, and now we're taking a look at how casual.
Casual we can be. So this is Robin, and she looks stunning in this fun and edgy look. The tweed poor boy hat is from Lilliput.
I love that hat.
Yeah, it's great. The trendy fur vest with knit ribbed waist is Guess. The white top is Michael Kors. The Hudson skinny jeans are tucked into these great Steve Madden leather platform boots.
Those look brand new too, again.
Also a fashion essential, the Coach leather crossbody. And the scarf and the bling cuff are also here from my girlfriend's closet.
Wow. So again, so talking about, as you say, you do take some costume jewelry, and you know, obviously it's great condition, but again, you can literally come in here and put together a whole outfit.
And that's what's great about our shop. I've got great staff. Our shop girls will help you put a whole outfit together. They're just not here to sell you something. They'll do, you know, mix and match and pull a whole outfit together.
And that's really ideally what you want, because a lot of times, I know depending on your body type, sometimes women will just buy something. Like I always, for some reason, buy pants, because I just find I can fit in pants easily. And you get home and you're like, wow, I just have a lot of pants and I don't have an outfit. So you got to kind of put that outfit together sometimes before you leave, and then it's like a go-to for you. You know, you have something to go to, and again, fully accessorized with scarves and hats and everything. So that's actually a nice way. So why don't we talk a little bit about how Consignment works in your shop? If, say, I had some really nice upscale clothing that I wanted to bring to you.
So the first thing you have to do is you have to make an appointment. And again, like I said, we take anything that's a quality name brand or a designer label, and it has to be less than 2 years old. You bring in up to 20 items per appointment. We go through them all and make sure it's something that we would accept. We keep it here on the sales floor for 3 months, and you get 40% of the sale price.
Oh, nice.
After the consignment period, if it does not sell, you can either pick up the items or we donate to charity.
Okay. So when someone's dropping off the items, they bring them into you, and then do they go away, come back?
No, we're pretty quick. It takes us about 10 minutes. If they're
so
a regular, exactly, they can shop. Or if they're a regular consignor, a lot of them, they just drop it off with us. Just drop it off. And we've got fabulous consignors.
That's nice, right, to have those people that, you know, and then you know how they treat their clothing too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So it's that reliability on that. So I know some consignment stores, they go along after a certain period of time, and then they'll mark down their clothing. Do you do that?
We do that. There's a markdown after the first month and then after the second month.
Okay, and then after 3 months, as you say, you can either pick them back up
or it goes. We find if it doesn't sell in the first 3 months, it's not really going to sell.
It's probably not going to sell. Yeah, and it's kind of like that whole rule: if you don't wear it within probably that first that year, then time to move on and bring it over to you. So your website is
mygirlfriendscloset.net. We're also on Facebook. We put a lot of the new, our new arrivals, and we'll put them on. Or if there's special events, we'll put that on our Facebook page.
That's cool. It's a great idea. So again, located right down here in downtown Burlington, and a great shop, and again, nicely brightly lit, beautiful change rooms, and helpful staff. Gives you a good idea and puts an outfit together, and then you can bring your stuff in. It's like a nice swap. And you can say to your husband, it's okay, I got rid of stuff, so that's why I'm bringing stuff home. Thanks, Liz, and thanks to all of our models.
Thanks, Leslie.
All right, that's it for Terra at Home. We'll be back.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We are now in Waterdown at Keynote Music School, and I'm here with Brian Cashin, and you are the director of the school.
I am.
And I thought it would be a great opportunity to in the new year, to talk to people about music lessons. And again, adults and children, you serve here, but a lot of times adults, they just want to get back. They want to pick up that guitar and start playing again, or it's something they put down for years, and that's something. It's a nice getaway for people when it comes to music, right? Because it's an art and often a passion. But you also have little ones that come in here right from the get-go, young ages, don't you? How young do you start?
We start students at the age of 5 with the private lessons. Yeah.
So that can be kind of interesting, right? So let's talk about the style of music. What instruments, and you also do vocal as well. Do you provide?
We teach all sorts of instruments here. We do piano, we do guitar, both electric and acoustic. We do bass guitar, drums. So all the core instruments. We do voice lessons like you'd mentioned. We also do a few woodwind instruments. We do some clarinet, some saxophone, some flute.
Oh wow. So I mean really anything that you need. And I think that, you know, as we all know, music and the arts programs were threatened for so long in the school. And in schools, and a lot of times, you know, particularly public schools, they have a tough time with their music classes and just trying to have the funding to have the instruments, the proper number of instruments to serve the kids. So a lot of times kids will, you know, they'll be able to play in class, but they can't take the instrument home. And how can you improve unless you have that opportunity to have that instrument yourself, right? So that's where I guess private lessons come in turn. They have extra time to play.
Yes, absolutely. That's a question we get from parents a lot. Say, well, do we need to have an instrument at home? No, I don't want to go out and have to buy a piano. It's a pricey investment, especially if you have a small child who is maybe just starting to dip their toe into the waters of music education. And sometimes kids are, you know, they're not decided if they're going to stick with it after a month or so. So yeah, it is important to have an instrument at home. Obviously, it's the best way to improve between lessons is to have an instrument to work on at home. You practice 15 minutes a day. At the beginner level, that's enough to get you started. And yeah, you certainly don't need to have a full-on acoustic piano, even a portable keyboard, you know, somewhere in the $100 range.
A keyboard, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can put it anywhere in the house, nice and light.
Yeah. So when you're structuring classes for kids, how often would the average child come in to practice and to have lessons?
All but our most advanced students come in for a half-hour lesson once a week. Some of our more advanced students opt to take 2 half-hour lessons, but most of the advanced students come in still just once a week, but for an hour-long lesson.
That's not bad at all, right? A half-hour lesson. That's nice and short and sweet, and again, good information. And it's as you say, so it's a private lesson, so it's one-on-one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow.
One-on-one. All of our instructors here have post-secondary training in music and whatnot. So yeah, definitely in good hands if you're looking to learn how to play.
Yeah, I think that is really, really great. So let's talk about the benefits of music for kids and really, you know, where it can take them from, you know, starting at such a young age, and if they do stick with it.
Well, there's a whole range of benefits, and this is anything that you can research easily online. If you were to punch in music education and academic benefits, you will find study after study showing how the brain is engaged, both left and right sides are really engaged when you are playing music. And it's actually been found that people who are improvising music, there are more connections, electrical connections happening in the brain than any other activity that has been recorded.
And so you can see how having music in the school system is so important. I remember I couldn't wait to get to music class or art class. That was part of my day. I mean, to get me out of science right now, or math class, so that I can get to music class. And again, as you're saying, it benefits the brain in so many ways. You know, it's also, for some kids, it's almost just a release. It's a total break. Even though you're still working hard and you're still working your brain, sometimes it doesn't even feel like work at all, right?
Oh, absolutely, and especially with the sort of the eradication of the music programs, at least to you know, the formal degree that they used to be held in in schools. A lot of students, I think, view it as something that is really not connected to school. It's as much an extracurricular activity as you know, going to soccer practice. Something you don't get in class, and it's something that you really, it's such an impersonal activity that you know, you're doing it really without the aid of a teammate in most cases. Right. So it's really just you and your coach, your music instructor. So.
Well, with my brother being a music teacher, I know that he would often say that his students, they didn't want to leave music, so the music class would run into lunch, and they would just grab their lunch and they'd sit there and they'd look, you know, and then he's like, okay, you can't be eating and you know your woodwind instrument, but they would literally stay and park themselves in the music class right through lunchtime because they just wanted to be there. They just loved it, and I think that's what's cool about music, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It really is fun. You know, if it's we teach in a nice casual environment here, so we don't want it to feel like work. We realize it is a hobby for both for children and for adult students. And we treat it as such. We really just want to imbue the love of music, and we want people to enjoy music enough that they want to continue on with lessons. And you know, when they're students, when they've graduated from high school and they don't have time for private lessons anymore, that is something they pursue on their own. Yeah,
they just do on their own. So you're not saying, hey, you're going to be the next rock star, but this is just something that's good for you and something you enjoy.
Yeah, if it happens, it happens.
It happens, it happens. That's right. Now, we're looking through our segment here of 2 students that you have. So one vocalist and one pianist. So let's talk about TERRA, our sweet little singer. 10 years old. And how long has she been here?
Terra's been with us for about 3 years, and something we actually didn't get to see from Terra today, she actually takes 2 sets of lessons for voice and for piano as well. So she, yeah, she's got a lot of potential on the piano. She, you know, like all good students, she practices diligently and makes good improvements from week to week. She actually started with piano before she switched over to voice, and she's obviously fluent in both.
And what an amazing talent that'd be too, right? To be able to sing and play the piano at the same time. Again, you're using all aspects of your brain there, right? Technically, I mean, you can't take that for granted by any means.
No, it takes a lot of focus.
Like, you know, already just trying to look at they're looking at their fingers while they're playing, and again, just to not do that, never mind have to sing as well. That's very, very cool. Absolutely. And a real sweetie. And you can see with both of them. And now Emmett, he's 12, right?
Yes.
And so how long has he been playing piano?
Emmett has been with us for about 6 years, and he was a beginner when he started.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, and he's so good. I mean, he played quite. You know, like when you're listening to these kids, I mean, they're so good, and but also they just seem so just really docile and very, you know, I mean, it's something about music almost gives them a really nice structure too, as you say. There's something that music brings these kids. Not that all kids are going to be just like Emmett and Terra, but there's something about them that they just seem almost ahead of their years, right? Because they're coming in here playing something like this or singing.
Well, right. They've really developed confidence in this activity, and I think it carries over to other facets of their life too. So yeah, they just seem you know, really well put together, and they're both very well spoken, very bright. So,
yeah, so cute.
Actually,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Emmett just competed in the Rotary Festival in Burlington last week and was able to place first.
That's amazing. Yeah. So there you go.
Did very well.
That's so good. And then that's something, you know, kudos to you guys as well, because it always comes from a good teacher. So
thank you.
That brings us back to lessons. How would someone register here for their child?
Well, it's pretty straightforward. You can find our website, keynotemusicstudio.ca, or you can give us a call. Our phone number's on the website, and we can just take care of it over the phone. The biggest obstacle for parents is just finding a time where we have an opening. Scheduling, that's right. Finding a time that we have available. And the kids are free, but we are fairly flexible with scheduling. So if you do need to miss a class, you know, if you have an unexpected soccer practice come up, or there's a school field trip that's going to interfere with your class time, we'll just move it to a different day.
Oh, so that works out really well. So again, literally, a child could come right after class and come here, and right after school if you wanted, and off they go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We start at 3 o'clock for our after-school programs, and we go till 9. And we actually do have some adult students that come in the earlier part of the day as well. A couple of homeschooled children as well, whose schedules are a little more flexible. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for letting us in your space. And again, it's good. It's good for your kids, and it's good for your brain too as an adult. We'll be back with more Terra at Home.
Come and explore the new Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Welcome back to Terra at Home. We are at Stir Kitchens on Brant Street, and we are having fun in their kitchen today with Chef Rachel. And we're making a really yummy comfort food dish, kind of perfect for this time of year. So you say it's awesome. I can't wait to try.
Okay.
What are we making?
This is called, I just called it chicken casserole. So it's quite simple. One of my favorites. My mom makes it all the time, and there's just something about it that's it's flavorful, but again, it's that comfort kind of food that you want at this time.
But generally crowd pleasing, right? Because it's just all the good stuff.
You can't really go wrong.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with chicken. So this is about 3 or 4 breasts, and I actually just cut them up. You can put your breasts in whole and make one per person, but I usually like to cut it up into pieces, and then you kind of just break it off. Right? Okay. So start with that, lightly grease your casserole dish there, and arrange your chicken on the bottom.
All right.
And then the next thing we need to do, assembling, it's really easy. It's not a lot of ingredients, but make a stuffing to go on top. So we'll put this on top, and then when it goes in the oven, it gets all nice and crispy, and It's so good. Okay.
She's having flashbacks from coming home from school and smelling it and, oh, Mom, is it almost ready?
We make a casserole dish like this, and honestly, I could eat probably half of it. Like, there's
so small.
There's nothing. I like more. Okay. So, the stuffing, just some white bread. If you normally have some white bread hanging around, or any kind for that matter, but I like to use the white. Just into small cubes.
Okay.
So that's it. I'll add a little bit of salt and pepper in there too, and some fresh herbs. So you get those nice green herbs in there, and lots of different flavors. So
and you're saying if you're in a real pinch, go ahead and use stovetop, right?
Sure.
Do it. If you happen to have it.
Because a lot of people carry that, in their...
have it, just go for it, right?
Yeah.
If it's really like a last minute and you're running out of time,
of course,
that really speeds up the process, doesn't it? But this is going to take it up a notch, right?
Right.
We're going to take it up to more of an adult chicken casserole.
Yes, we're going to make our own
All right.
stuffing. But yeah, a lot of people they like quick and easy these days. And I mean, we have some cheese in there and some soup, a little bit of sodium in there. It's not necessarily the healthiest dish, but it's a lot better than a lot of other things, and it can be done really quickly.
That's right.
So
it's better than just going to fast food restaurant, right?
So thyme, basil, and parsley are the three herbs of my choice. And you can always throw dried herbs in there too, if you don't have any fresh. But if you've got the fresh hanging around in your kitchen, obviously a good time to use them. And I like to put some salt and pepper. And you don't need too much salt because we're going to add in a little bit of cream of chicken soup. So just right from the can. Don't add water.
Again, I mean, we all know those quick soup can recipes. You can make shepherd's pie using cream of mushroom, right? And again, that just adds the creamy flavor without adding cream. So you are with additional cream, so you are getting it a little bit better for you.
A little bit of chicken stock, or you can use vegetable stock. You could use water, even if you wanted. You just want to moisten the bread, basically. So just might have to use my hands in a minute for this, because you want to make sure that it's all nicely moistened, and then it's ready to assemble.
Okay.
Let's put a little bit
now,
more.
so you're not adding any butter or anything to that, just as it is. Okay. All right.
Okay, so let's move that for now, and I'll get my hands dirty in a minute when I don't need to touch anything else.
Back to the chicken.
Okay. So I start with the cheese. So this is a mixture of provolone cheese and mozzarella.
Okay. So cheese on top of chicken. First step.
I know.
It's good. It's fun. We love this kind of stuff this time of year, right? Put on your track pants and
get comfy on the couch.
Get a good movie, and yes, that's right.
Okay, and then this is where I spread the soup on, so actually you can just kind of, I'm making one big casserole.
So again, I mean, this is coming right from the can, direct. You don't have to add anything. You're not watering it down.
No.
Just and then, of course, that's going to all just melt and spread itself out, right?
Yeah. I normally just spread it a bit, make sure that there's a little bit everywhere. And then I top it with a little more cheese. Just a little bit. And you can buy the low-fat cheese these days.
Sure. You can.
You can.
You don't have to. All right. I'm loving the smell, and this smells so good right now.
Okay, so then I put a little bit more cheese on top, and then the stuffing. And so we preheat the oven to about 350 degrees, and it's pretty good. It can sit in there for an hour, 45 to an hour, even if it's a little longer, that's okay. So it's kind of something you can just throw in the oven and forget about.
Well, it really is pretty straightforward, though, isn't it? It's really, really easy.
Okay, I'm gonna get my hands dirty now because I think it'll be
easier.
Easier this way.
Now, what did your mom serve with this? What do you serve as a side with this? Anything?
Yeah, usually some rice. We're big rice people. We have a lot of rice. A nice salad.
I was gonna say you could even do salad, right?
Yeah.
And then that would kind of break up because you're kind of got a bit of a saucy, cheesy chicken, right? So that would kind of break it up a little bit and give you some vegetation.
Well, yes. Well, that's my thought, right? Like eating something kind of this rich and creamy. It's nice to accompany it with some veggies.
Right. Or as a lot of times kids just cut up, carrots and celery or whatever, and just have that's a fun kids meal because I can see kids would really like this. It's pretty straightforward. it's not spicy, it's not too much over the top flavors that are hard to adjust to. So
yeah, so it's great. It works. It's good. So throw that in the oven, and like I said, you know, you can throw it in the oven when you get home from work, and there's no really much that you have to do. It's quick. It's nice.
You're not adding more cheese on top?
No. We're gonna leave it at that. So all the herbs in there will give it a lot of nice flavor, and we got all the cheese underneath. We don't need any more cheese, I think.
All right. Okay, so what we're going to do, we'll put it in the oven, and through the magic of television, we'll be back in like 2 minutes, and we'll show you the finished one, and then I get to taste it, which is just awesome. We'll be back in 2.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home, and so we've officially pulled the chicken casserole. That's what we're calling it.
Yeah.
I was hearing everybody kind of has their own sort of recipe version of this, right? So some people call it after their name and their family, whatever it is.
We can call it Chicken Rachel.
Yeah, Chicken Rachel. Today. All right, so officially done. And you said how long you left? Did you leave it in there for?
So about 45 minutes to an hour. This was a little closer to an hour, so it's a lot crispier.
Now, how do you make sure? I mean, you want to make sure that chicken is cooked under there, right?
Yeah.
So
if it's at 350 for at least 45 minutes,
you're okay.
You're pretty much okay. But I always just get a knife and fork and cut into it just to make sure.
Right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just recap what we did again. Just chicken breast cut on the bottom, laid across the bottom, and of course you sprayed it. You said a little bit with
you put a little bit of oil or butter on there. Yep.
Okay, and then cheese.
Yeah, a little bit of cheese. I had mozzarella and provolone, but you can do any kind of cheddar cheese would be nice on there too. Whatever you kind of have hanging around. Okay. And then we spread with 1 can of cream of chicken soup.
Now that's where, of course, again, variation can come in, right? You could, I mean, there are a lot of different types of soups that you could use. We were talking about cream of mushroom for shepherd's pie, but you could also use it for this.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Be really good.
Yeah,
right?
We can call that chicken Leslie.
Yeah, okay, that would be my version.
Yeah, switch it up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so then, of course, you made your fresh stuffing to put on top, but again, you could always use the quick stovetop if you wanted.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of cutting it up in.
Yeah, so kind of cut it up into pieces. Like I said, if you had whole breast there, you could pull each breast out.
Just pull that right out.
But I kind of just do it like this, and then everyone gets a little chunk, and then you're not eating a whole breast because you could be surprised at how far one breast can go if you actually cut it up or slice it or butterfly it, right?
Okay, so while you're serving, again, just a reminder, our website, terragreenhouses.com, you can find all of Chef Rachel's recipes on our website so that you can make this as well. And again, a nice, straightforward, easy meal for this time of year when everybody's in such a rush and you're coming home from work and you're racing off to get your kids to some activity. So this is fast and easy and good too, so I can't wait to try it. Okay. So thanks again, Chef Rachel. Thank you. Again, we're at Stir Kitchens on Brant Street, and we're just hanging out here for a while using their kitchen, and they have great cooking classes. We'll be back. That's it for today.